What's up, investors? It's Jake with REIPrintMail, and today we're here with direct marketing coach Brandon Caldwell. And Brandon, I hear you got a good campaign going out in Houston, Texas. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I got this guy, Captex, is one of my clients right in the Houston market. Currently, we're on a $20K spend right now. We're sending out roughly around 22,000 mailers. As of right now, we're testing a bunch of different campaigns and different mail pieces in that area. And what we're looking at right now is we generated around 132 phone calls. We're sitting at a 0.6 response rate. I just got off a meeting with them, and kind of what we've went over is that we've got 13 contracts going to be locked up here. We're at a profit of $130,000, and we've had a total mail spend of $70,000. So his net ROI is around 65K, which is pretty good. As far as this guy goes, what we're doing with him is we're doing a lot of KPI tracking. So we're putting a lot of tracking numbers on each of the mail pieces, testing the performance, and seeing kind of where we're going to be at here in the next month or two.
Okay, cool. So what type of mailer was used and why was that chosen for this campaign?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're actually testing a couple different mailers. We're actually using one of our small yellow postcards, which is just like a sorry we missed you handwritten postcard. That's performing real well out in the market. And we're also sending out our check mailers as well. We're putting an offer on there saying, hey, we want to buy your property, yada, yada, yada.
Okay, cool. So tell me a little bit about the response rate for this campaign and how does that compare to, let's say, the industry standard or average?
Yeah, so the industry standard, well, we go off like a national average of about 0.5%. It was what we run with. Currently with this client right now, we're getting a 0.64, which is head over heels, doing really, really well. So we're going to come back and probably going to double up on that and see if we can get more targeted, data-driven approach on this campaign to see where we're at.
So tell me about this guy's strategy a little bit. What exactly is he doing? Is he doing wholesale, fix and flips, a little bit of everything?
Yeah, so he's kind of hitting everything when it comes to different exit strategies. He's wholesaling the ones you don't want. His main priority is a quick flip opportunity. He's got a huge operation out there where if it does come with the back a good return on investment on a quick flip, he'll just wholesale if there's a lot of repair needed to it. But he also does buy and holds as well. He's pretty deep in that market in the Houston, Texas.
So when did this campaign start and how long did it take for him to start seeing results?
We started this campaign towards the end of February, somewhere around February 19th. He started seeing results right away, typically within the first month and a half. And then when you send more mail out at that time, we sent 20,000 out of the gate. We're able to allocate funds necessarily to see which way we need to go on a data-driven approach with this campaign. Whether we need to allocate funds from our yellow postcard to our check, or if we need to swap the data out, whether we need to make the educated decisions on the way.
Okay, so tell me about the data. What type of list did you use and what are the variables or factors that went into building that list for him?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're actually using 3 current data sets that we have at our company here. Our first data set is going to be our smart AI. What we do is we take a bunch of different data points like vacant, absentee owner, out of state, in-state, pre-foreclosure, stuff like that. Anything to find stress. But we stacked in together. What our AI tool Lucy does is she's going to rank these people accordingly from top to bottom. So it's looking for signs of stress and motivation. Do they have a low credit score? Have they filed bankruptcy? Stuff like that to find motivation on the footprint of the homeowner. And it ranks these people accordingly from top to bottom. People at the top who are in those significant situations are going to be most likely to sell. And people at the bottom are perfect people in a way. They're not interested at all. So what we're able to do is save our investors time and money and cut the bad meat off the bone. That way we're only targeting people who are in those significant situations. That's one of the data sets we're hitting right now. Our second data set we're hitting is what we call our invisible list. I can't share too many details with you on this one, but essentially it's a super tired investor landlord list. It's for people who need to downsize or liquidate their assets as part of their retirement strategy. And then our third last list we're hitting is our pretty known shipwreck list. This list contains anything with a court legal proceeding document attached to it. So you're looking at probates, foreclosures, stuff like that that's going through the courts. It's a small list, but it's super powerful because it is people going through significant life changes in the last 60 to 90 days.
Okay, so you're tracking the results of this campaign, and let's say you have these multiple variables, mail piece, data. How long does it typically take until you're either making adjustments or pivoting to maybe the better combination and allocating your funds accordingly?
Yeah, it really depends on the mail spend you send. So it depends on how many mailers you send. If you're a new investor coming to me, typically, and say we're talking about Houston, okay? What I see out there is between 5,000 to 7,000 mailers to get a deal for an average investor. If you do have to send out that much, it does take longer to see numbers. I've never seen, you send less mail and you get numbers quick. Obviously, if you're going to see more numbers, you're going to have to send more mail out in a way. So with this guy, we were able to see numbers within the first month and a half. With a newer investor coming in, you're going to need at least 90 days to see where those numbers come up. and see where we need to allocate funds necessary to see what's working in their market. Because at the end of the day, it is a data-driven decision. And if I see what's working on my end with the KPIs we're tracking, that's where we want to go. It's kind of like horse racing in a way. You got your data sets, which are your horse tracks, and you've got your mail pieces, which are your horses. You're going to let them horses run for about 60 to 90 days and see which horse performs the best. You know, what do you do if you have a slow horse on the track? You get him the hell off the track. You know what I mean? You allocate the funds necessary.
Okay, so you say 5,000 to 7,000 pieces per deal. Would you say that's when you're first getting started? And does that amount change as you're consistent and time goes on and you keep doing mail with, let's say, REIPrintMail?
And it comes back to their closing ability. We really try to base it off the national average of 0.5%. So if you're sending out 6,000 mailers and you're getting 0.5%, that's 30 phone calls. The average investor, maybe a new wholesaler coming into our industry, is probably a 1 in 40 closer. My guy at Houston, he's probably a 1 in 20. So you could see maybe a deal and a half come out of that, just depending on your closing ability when it comes to these phone calls coming.
Okay, so let's say he's acquired 30 inbound leads. Does he have a good follow-up system or process set in place? And what do you have potentially to help people who maybe that's not their strong suit?
Yeah, he's got a follow-up system set in place. Like I said, he's one of the bigger fish out in the market. So he's got a whole department of following up and reaching out to people and cold calling people. But we do have something, it's our REI Smart Call team. We actually just launched it here in early January. And what it does is we have people who can actually answer the inbound phone calls that come in off each mail piece they call in on, and all they do is qualify and send the leads over. We've split that different package up into live answer only. We have a live answer premium, and then we do have a follow-up package for people who, you know, say, hey, I don't want to sell right now, but maybe later in time. Well, our team is going to follow up those people till they tell us the kick works or they pretty much die. In a way.
So all these packages and services, are these all one and done, or can you split them up and make more of a modular package tailored towards what you need for your business?
Yeah, so it's definitely tailored. So the way we look at people's businesses is kind of like a puzzle board. So I can do a lot for you, I can do less for you. If you want me to keep track of KPIs, I'll keep track of KPIs. If you want me to put a call team in and you're not answering the calls, I can see here, hey, you know, you're missing a couple calls. A lot of calls are going to voicemail based on our KPI report. Let's go ahead and insert phone team. So it's a lot if we can do a lot for your business, or we can do a little. It really just depends on the puzzle piece you need from REIPrint here.
Okay, so inbound call comes in, you say they qualify the leads, the live answer team. What exactly is the talk track? What questions are they asking to the sellers to qualify them?
So they're not salesmen at the end of the day. Their job is to only qualify and send a lead over to the investor. So they're figuring out what's wrong with the house, how much they want for it, is there a dead cat on the roof, just to get information on the property. They want to send it over to the investor just so we know it's going into that phone call with the team and what's wrong with the property in a way.
Okay, how does that come over from your team to my team?
Yeah, so we can set it up. The way we set up our smart call teams is we can set it up to come in either via text message or via email. So what it'll do, if for people out there who use like Podio or go high level, like when a lead comes in like a PBL ad or something like that, it'll have the information on there that'll say, hey, here's the property, here's the address, here's what's wrong with it, here's what the seller said, he's been married for 20 years, stuff like that, just information they need to go in. It'll come in via text or via email.
Okay, now can I listen back to these calls at all?
Yeah.
And hear the conversation?
Every call is reported with REIPrintMail just to see kind of where we're at, and you have access to all those recordings anytime you want. So if we're just doing smart call and we say, hey, Brandon, I want to hear these recordings, you just go on to our CRM and you go in there and listen to the recording.
Well, Brandon, that's great. Appreciate your insight here. It sounds like you're leading your investors and client base to great success. So if you'd like to meet and figure out a little bit more about what Brandon's doing, the psychology behind all this, make sure you book a call. There's a link in the description below. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below.